Ganapataye Namaha. In this video, I'm going to talk about the archetype Krishna, and I want to share with you a very simple ritual that you can use every day to easily get the blessings of this great archetype. So, who is Krishna? Now, I'm not going to do a deep academic dive into this archetype Krishna. I want to share some of the most remarkable things about him, some of the most significant and practical things about why you want to work with this archetype. So here I'm going to draw from the teachings of Dr. Ply and the Siddhas. Krishna, on one hand, represents the pleasure principle, and on the other hand, represents the ecstasy of enlightenment. So Dr. Ply calls him a 200% life archetype. He can give you the best of both the material and spiritual worlds simultaneously. So on the one hand, you have Krishna, the king, who gets to enjoy all the wealth and riches of the world. You have Krishna's exploits with the gopis and having multiple wives, so you have the sexual component as well. And in general, Krishna is able to enjoy all the blessings of the earth plane. And on the other hand, you have the Krishna, the Guru Krishna of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the initiation or the talks between him and his student Arjuna, which happened during the Great War of Mahabharata. And Krishna gives Arjuna profound revelations and even reveals that he is the supreme personality of the divine, and that his mantra is Om. So he talks about among the saints I am Brigu, among the Nagas or serpents I am Adishesha, and basically whenever there is a great achievement or the greatest of any class of being or any part of nature, that represents Krishna. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. And on a side note, if you've never read or had the pleasure of reading the Mahabharata, I highly, highly recommend it. It's an extremely profound story, very, very enjoyable to read. And as Dr. Ply talks about, it's also a mythotherapy, meaning that when you're reading this mythology, that it is a language of your soul or language of the unconscious. It is embedded with incredible symbolism that while your conscious mind may not understand what is going on, your unconscious or the level of your soul is being activated as you read the stories. So it's a very simple, enjoyable, and profound technology. So Krishna also, particularly this form of Krishna and Radha together, you've seen this probably a lot. Krishna's playing the flute, and Radha's there. Sometimes they're sitting in a swing. This particular form Dr. Ply has talked about will, if you put this in your home, whether it's a picture or three dimensionals is considered to be better, it will bring harmony to relationships. Not just harmony, but also the pleasure of relationships, whether that's the physical pleasure, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual pleasure. Radha and Krishna represent the perfect relationship. So if you put this form in your home and energize it with this ritual I'm going to teach you, it'll be very, very powerful for doing that. In summary, what you need to know about Krishna is he's a 200% life archetype. He gives you the best of both worlds, and he's a very, very benevolent form of the divine. You have some of the more fierce, aggressive forms you have to be careful with. You don't have to worry about this with Krishna. And another great thing about Krishna, he's very easy to please. He talks about in, I believe it's the Mahabharata or the Bhagavad Gita, I can't remember which. He talks about even just an offering of leaf and water, just a leaf and water, it will please him. Now, you can do this with anything you have access to. The most important component here is the love or a certain gratitude, appreciation when you're making the offering. That's the most important component. Whatever medium, whether it's a leaf, whether it's water, whatever, is not as important as the love or the devotion. Because Krishna and Radha are very much about the devotional component of the path of bhakti. But he also, of course, has the path of jnana, which is a lot of the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is a very diverse archetype. Now, this segues into the ritual that I want to talk about. So, of all the offerings that you can give to Krishna, the one that is considered the most powerful is this plant, Tulsi. Now, there's a whole story about Tulsi who gets turned into the plant Tulsi, and she's sort of a symbol for devotion. And whenever you offer Tulsi to Krishna, it's considered to be very, very pleasing. So what I've been doing, and this is really the main reason I wanted to make this video, is to share this with you because it's simple but very, very powerful. So there's this brand called Organic India. You can find them at, I've seen them at everywhere from Whole Foods to most every health store I've ever been to. They make Tulsi tea. Now this is the one with sweet rose. They have ashwagandha. They have green tea Tulsi. They have even original Tulsi and a whole bunch of flavors you can check out. It's very, very good. And what I do is just take one of these tea bags and I put it in front of the picture of Krishna, which is this one here, or you can put it in front of the statue of Krishna, and you can just place it there and with love and devotion and just a little bit of gratitude. And of course you can pray, ask for miracles or whatever you want from Krishna, and just leave it in front of him. And then you can go and drink this tea later. So it will be considered as prasad. Prasad is divinely energized offerings to the divine. What basically is they are able to get their energy inside of your body when you consume things that have been offered to them, that have been sanctified, whether that's the water, the food, or whatever. Even more powerful than drinking it, which I do, don't get me wrong, I do drink it. Even more powerful is if you're able to give this to somebody else because you are helping the divine get into someone else and help someone else, which is considered very, very powerful. As they say, you only receive what you give. If you want blessings from the divine, what better way than to make those blessings available to other people? This is a simple way to do this. Now, a mantra for Krishna, of course, I mentioned previously in the video, you can use the mantra Om and think of Krishna. You can just use his name, Krishna. You can use the mantra Hari Bol. Of course, as I've mentioned in past videos, it's always considered to be ideal to get a mantra or as upadesha from a guru, initiation, someone who has the permissions and the power to give that mantra to you. However, they say that Om, everybody can use Om. Of course, it'll be more powerful as initiation, but certainly you can use the mantra Om or just his name. Don't make it too complicated and just offer the Tulsi to him and make your prayer. Now, if you're watching this video, there is a strong chance, likelihood that Krishna is reaching out to you and inviting you to take advantage of this very simple and profound practice. And I can almost say for sure that if you do this, you will begin to experience the blessings. Now, the best way to find out is to experiment on your own. So I invite you to give this a try. You can use these Tulsi tea bags, you can use a leaf, you can just use water. But invite Krishna, who is very active right now, into your life and receive his blessings. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them underneath this video and make sure to check out the link in the description. I'm going to share at least one video that comes to mind that Dr. Ply had given to us, including the same artist. It's a song to Krishna that's very, very pleasurable and enjoyable to listen to. I used to play it on repeat all the time. I invite you to do it as well and evoke the presence of Radha and Krishna. And if I can find any free mantras or chants from Dr. Pai, I'll also post them underneath this video. So, wishing you the blessings of Radha and Krishna and happy manifesting. God bless.